John from JO Ventures Outdoors, and welcome to another video. This will be a very interesting one, I think. I'm just out here in the garage, got a cup of coffee, just enjoying some time here this morning, Saturday morning. Just take a little drink there. And I have been thinking here recently that it would be kind of cool, or I was just kind of reminiscing, I guess, more than anything, about the time of carrying just one knife. And you just had that one knife every day, you didn't think about it, and you just carried it. And lots of people do that. I mean, this is obviously a very normal thing for most people, but for knife collectors, we like to rotate our knives around, and we're kind of testing knives and checking them out, and then we just share our thoughts and that kind of thing. And that's just what knife collectors do, especially YouTubers. And sometimes we're carrying multiple knives. Many times I might be carrying 2 or 3 knives, which, do I need to carry 2 or 3 knives? No. But I really like knives, so that's why I carry them. So, just to check them out. So I thought, well, what about going back to the time of just carrying one for a month? And so I made the post on the on my channel, and I'll put the results up on the screen and here for you to see. I put a post up there. It said, hey, if I carried one knife for a month, which knife would you want me to carry? And I gave you several choices. So let me go through the choices there here in a minute. But in the meantime, MB a wonderful channel here on YouTube, I didn't realize, he commented on my video. He said, or on my post, and said, hey, I've issued the challenge. I've accepted a challenge for September. And he had a whole video on it. I had no idea that he had done that. And so my apologies to MB for missing that. But I'm going to participate in MB EDC's challenge for September, carrying one knife. So this is the one knife challenge for September, and this is where we're going to choose it. But you helped me choose this, so we'll go through the choices here in just a minute. Well, actually, right now. So the first one I had up there was, I thought, well, it'd be interesting to have a utility knife. Lots of people carry a utility knife as their knife of choice for EDC. And here we have the Milwaukee Fastback utility knife, just your button lock utility knife. If I can get it to work right here. Where you just open it up like that. It's got a pocket clip and everything. I use this one for leather work a lot, but you could easily carry that as a EDC. But even better would be this Work Pro that I just got from Walter. And then you've got the exchangeable blades. If they get dull, you just take them out. The majority of what we're using this for is to open packages and cut string and do things like that. Now, this would be very limiting. You couldn't cut an apple with it or something. I suppose you could, but that'd be kind of gross, and not very practical. But so this was on the list. This got 0 votes. Nobody voted for this. In fact, 34 people submitted votes on the poll on my community post, and I thought that was really good, but nobody voted for these. So we're going to take those away. That wasn't it. The other one that I thought would be interesting would be the orange Ozark Trail and, access lock knife. Now, I did get several votes for this. I think there were like 15% of the voters, if I'm correct. Again, I'll flash that up here for you. I meant to write all those down, but I think I've got them pretty well memorized. But anyway, 15% voted for this. So, I mean, that would be kind of cool to see how it holds up over a month. And if I have any more issues, I had a couple issues with the lock, but it's working great now. And, I seemed a little negative on this, but I really like it, actually. And I have carried it quite a bit, and I do like it a lot. So that would work pretty well. I mean, it's got D2 steel, nice pocket clip. It's very fidgety, so it would be fun. Nice modern. There've been a lot of moderns that would work for this too. So we could have that, but it only got 15%, I believe. Oh yeah, there's one other one. Hold on a second. I'm going to check the percentages real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So you saw the percentages, but I couldn't remember what they were. So I said that the utility knife got 0%. The Ozark Trail got 9%, and on the votes, so it only got 9%. So that wasn't the choice that you made. The other one was a friction folder. And here's just a couple of examples. We got an Opinel number 8 in carbon that was given to me by Factors of Jack and modified. Now that would be really cool to carry for a month, wouldn't it? And he's even modified the the patina on the blade there, and that patina that would all blend in, but it would still be very cool, and it still has lots of his modifications on here. Very nice job, Jack. I really appreciate that. And then also another good choice I think would be this Joker. This was a gift from Tim at Tim's School of Fish, and he dyed the handles. And so this was modified by him. And this is a very comfortable, sharp, slicey knife that would be great to carry. It's easy to carry in the pocket because of this curving here. But I can't remember the model name, but it's made by Joker, and it's pretty common and pretty inexpensive. But it got a similar viral block type locking mechanism as the Alpinel. So that got 15% for the friction folders, and again 9% for this Ozark Trail. So these were not the highest choice, the most voted for, but they would be a really great EDC knife. The other that got quite a bit of 35% and a lot of comments, several comments in this section, would be carrying a sack. Carrying a Swiss Army knife. These are all Victorinox. These are all, some of these were mentioned here. So somebody mentioned Super Tinker, because I said ask, mention or comment on which model you think I should carry if the Swiss Army knife wins this challenge, or this vote, I should say. Super Tinker, the Explorer, the Super Tinker is a 3-layer, and really popular, and it has the opening layer, the main blade, spare blade, scissors, and toothpick tweezers, and this has a pin, so that would be very handy. It's got the screwdriver on the back, the parcel hook, and the awl, which I do use the awl quite a bit. And so that would be an excellent choice for EDC. I often carry the Tinker, which has all of that minus the scissors. The Explorer was mentioned a couple of times. It has that inline Phillips, which would be very handy and practical. The magnifying glass, it's got the scissors, it's got the main blade in the opening layer. I'm not going to pull all the tools out, but it's got the corkscrew with the eyeglass screwdriver and the pin. So along with the awl, which I do use quite a bit. So that was mentioned, and the Bantam was mentioned. Very slim carry, but still give you a nice blade, and the combo tool, or some people call it the combi tool. So anyway, so that would have been a good one too. These are both gifts from Walter. That was a gift from Walter. The scales were a gift from Walter, and this was a gift from Walter. So he has been instrumental in beefing up my Victorinox collection. Now, the ST Classic was mentioned in the comments, but this is the Rambler, and I often carry this. And It's got that Phillips screwdriver, the wire bender, and bottle opener, that combo tool, and then also a nice blade, very small but nice, the SD screwdriver with the nail file, and then also the scissors, toothpick and tweezers. So even carrying something as small as this with all those functions would be, I think, quite practical to carry for a month as your only knife. Any of these would be. And so, but the Swiss Army knives from my collection got 35% of the vote. So that is not the highest. So we're going to put these off. They're not going to be the choice, at least for this month anyway. We might do it again. If we do it again, I might do it, 2 months in a row and then do a sack the next month. What got the most votes was a slip joint from my collection, 41%. So let me put some choices out here that I thought would be interesting for this challenge. So it will be a slip joint. So the slip joints, a Barlow was mentioned, and I thought this would be interesting if I chose a Barlow. And this is a Colonial USA, Providence USA Barlow with carbon steel, and it is extremely sharp, and it's one that I kind of cleaned up a little bit. So, I think that would be very cool to carry. Someone mentioned a trapper, so I have a couple trapper options. This is an Uncle Henry given to me by Cornbread over at Hunting for Hookers. It's a Schrade USA, and it's got stainless steel. Very nice, very sharp, and that would make a very nice carry for a month, I think. So if I carried a trapper. So a trapper was mentioned, as I said before. And I also have one of my favorite knives in my collection, my Case Mini Trapper with the carbon steel and black synthetic handles. So this would be also a great carry for a month. So a trapper was mentioned once, I think, or twice. Barlow once. And then what was mentioned the most in the comments, because I said, comment on which slip joint you think I should carry. Gotta get a drink of coffee here. And so several people mentioned a Stockman. And I think I had I don't know how many comments, maybe 3 comments down there. So I don't think, because we didn't get very many comments on these patterns of slip joints, I'm going to take those out, and it is going to be a Stockman for my choice. So which of these? So someone specifically mentioned any large Stockman. So we have the Rough Rider here. This is the Rough Rider large Stockman. I can't remember the number on this. 1740 from the Classic Carbon series. I actually won another one of these. I've gifted it to someone already. But this has got carbon steel blades, half stops. I won, an extra one of these from Last Chance Knives. So thank you, Ken. But I've gifted it. I went ahead and gifted it because I already had one. So yeah, so this would be a cool carry. And that's one I actually thought of. The other one is a 23 or a 34 OT. Someone mentioned a Schrade old timer as a potential Stockman, and so this one is a 34 OT that was severely rusted that I restored, and I believe these are carbon steel blades, but I haven't really carried this enough to know or get patina get patina back on them again. I've cleaned it up pretty good, but so those wouldn't even open when I first got it. The other choice I thought of was this 63. I think it's a 20. Can't remember the number. I have to look on it, but it's a Case Stockman, an 18 pattern. Yeah, it's a 3318 with carbon steel. It's got J.O. Ventures on the scale there. A gift from Michael Espinosa. So I think it's going to be one of these three. And this is becoming a long video. So as I thought about this, my original inspiration for this idea came from remembering my dad carrying a knife all the time. The same one. I mean, he didn't have a knife collection where he rotated. I carried the same one. And what he carried most of the time was an old timer. I can remember him carrying an old timer with these Delrin scales. And I remember him using this sheep's foot blade, to cut open boxes or to scrape tar off of the end of a spark plug or something like that. And do things like that. So, and he still carries a knife every day. I just did a slip for him and cleaned up one of his little knives. They were usually much smaller than this one. But so I think what I'm going to do is carry this old timer for the month of September. And it will be my EDC every day for that month. And so MB, this is my choice for your challenge. And thank you all for voting and for giving me your input and your comments. It would be interesting maybe for another month too, in the future to carry a sack. And probably if I did that, it would be the Explorer. So I kind of go from one extreme to the other on the size of the knife. But so month of September, one knife challenge is the old timer 34 OT. And I've got a really cool slip to put that in. I have that around here somewhere. It's yeah, right here. So that's what I'll be carrying here for the month of September. And I'll come back with some updates and some, a video at the end of the month just to give you my experiences for this. But I expect it's going to go very well. Yeah, so that's it right there. That's the choice. Thank you to MBEDC for his challenge, for his video, for commenting. Thank you to all of you for commenting. And thank you all for watching.